Good evening, everyone. This is the October 8, 2025 open meeting of the Auburn Conservation Commission, which is being operated as a hybrid format under Chapter 22 of the Acts of 2022. The public can join the meeting remotely by telephone by dialing 1-408-650-3123 and then entering access code 942-845-549. Or the public can join via computer at global.gotomeeting.com/join/942-845-549. So materials for tonight's meeting, have been provided to commissioners and they're available on the town's website. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda. My name is Michael Garland. I'm chairman of the commission. Before we begin, let me do a roll call of our members. Megan Langley.
Here.
Mark Squamo.
Here.
Rachel Girardi.
Here.
All right, we have a quorum. There are 4 of us, and so we can proceed. And Tom Fallon.
Here.
Okay. Please note that anyone who wishes to speak tonight has to sign the sign-up sheet, which Tom has. Also note the meeting is being recorded by Auburn Cable Television. So without further ado, the first matter, on our agenda is a 7 p.m. public hearing. Casella Waste Management. A notice of intent to repave existing paved areas, install curbing, and reconstruct existing drainage swale at 49 Sword Street. Is there a motion to open?
Motion.
Is there a second? Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye? Okay, it's a vote. All right. Mr. Walsh?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Chairman, board members, thank you for your time. Michael Walsh, as you mentioned, with Walsh Engineering Associates, and here to represent Casella Waste Management. With intent for their facility at 49 Sword Street in Auburn. It is a repaving project. The facility is a transportation facility. It is used as parking overnight for route trucks. Fueling and routine maintenance is performed at that facility. And the work is repaving. The portions of the pavement are degrading in certain areas, so going through the process of trying to rehab that pavement over time. It's a pretty flat site. There's not a lot of grade change, but it is surrounded, at least bordered on 2 sides by Kettle Brook. And there is BBW along those easterly and northern boundaries. So a portion of this work is within and encroaching the 100-foot buffer, BBW buffer. And there's basically around that, the edge of it is some tree growth around the perimeter of it. Generally it's bermed for the most part, urban berm. There's a few areas where stormwater will escape, but there's a little bit of regrading to be done. There's not a whole lot we can do to kind of mitigate lack of drainage just because of lack of flow. There's some low areas that we're trying to reduce or minimize puddling. But other than that, it's fairly straightforward. We see it as a pretty short period of time for construction. Probably 4 to 5 days maximum, and ideally probably a Thursday night through Sunday potentially. Other than that, what we have, basic erosion control measures proposed for this site. We're also not requesting, or are requesting a waiver from a drainage evaluation of the site. There's really no significant change in impervious area. And really very minimal regrading done on site.
Okay.
Any questions for me?
I have a few. Is the existing driveway going to be grinded down?
Yeah, it's likely going to be a portion of it will be milled.
Okay.
But a significant portion will be removed.
And what's going to be the depth of the new material?
The paving itself will be 4 inches.
And how many passes will it take you to apply it?
It should be two. We have two different mixes. We have a binder course of 3.5 inches or 2.5 inches, and then a surface course of 1.5 for a total of 4
And
inches.
how long does it take to cure?
Depends on the temperature. That's one of the things about doing it on the weekend. One, it's difficult because they have a lot of vehicles
Right.
parked in there.
Exactly.
So they're relocating those vehicles and containers, so some containers on site so that they can have open access to it. I would say, in October or November temperatures, it's probably 1 to 2 days. But being careful, they can't sit and spin their wheels and they will do damage. But
Right.
it's probably as soon as that.
So basically, once they start, they're gonna stick with it until completion.
That's my understanding. That's the current plan.
And when would they want to get started?
They'd like to do it this year. I mean, it's going to be challenging. I mean, they're at a point where it's,
Right.
depends if the contractor's comfortable with it, and the owner's comfortable with it.
So we've been to the site many times, so I think you know. I don't have any other questions. Are there any questions from the commission?
I have a question. I see on the site plan, this is Megan Langley, I see on the site plan, page C2.0, it says regrade, this is right beside Kettle Brook, it says regrade area to drain using reclaimed millings. Is there any more information you can provide about the millings, if those will be subject to testing for any possible contaminants, et cetera?
We planned to use some of the millings. That was the reason that it was, it's not all pure removal, that we wanted to use a certain amount of millings to use as surface grading really in that area. That's an area where they store containers, and it currently is gravel with possibly some millings maybe in that area currently. But no, we didn't specifically intend to test it. We intended to try to utilize it from one operation to the next.
Any idea how old that existing pavement is?
I don't know exactly.
Okay.
Some of it is in poor condition than others, and I'd say that's quite old, especially around the building itself. Kind of mostly on the north side, but even some on the east side of the building. Here's oldest.
Okay.
There's some sections of pavement here and there where patches or small work was done, it looks like, over time. But I would guess that it's more than 5 years, and maybe some areas more than that.
So Megan, do you feel like you want to take a look?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to take a look and that area where so it's saying the area, regrade the area with the reclaimed millings to meet proposed grades. And then is that like paved over? I'm confused about what's going on exactly right there.
That would remain a mix of gravel and reclaim. That was
Okay.
intent.
And then how does that, like, the runoff in that area, is that going directly into the brook or is that going into some sort of structure?
There's really no structures on site. It's surface flow, so it does migrate with a large portion of the site migrates to the northeast corner. You'll see an existing riprap depression there to allow some settling, and then it discharges to kind of the northeast corner to Kettle Brook.
Okay.
So Megan, you want to take a look?
Yes, I'd like to.
Okay. Is that any problem with that?
No, it may change our decision. Maybe we apply just gravel.
Okay. Well, I think, some of us, I think you know, some of us, there are new members of the board, and I think probably most of us haven't been out there, so I think it's worth it to take a look. So.
Sure.
So in that case, do you assent to continuing the hearing in this until October 22nd?
I do.
Okay. So with that in mind, and given the fact that you live and work in Maine, I don't think you have to come down to this weekend.
I'm glad to, I appreciate that, but I'm glad to be there.
All right. Well, maybe what we'll do is maybe we can do a site meeting this Saturday at 9 o'clock. Are people available?
I won't be available. I'll be away.
Okay.
My anniversary weekend, but yeah.
All right. Is that good?
I won't be around. But
You will?
no, I won't be.
Okay. Well,
I'll be, yeah.
all right. And Megan's going to be there too. Right? Megan? Hello.
Sorry, I was coughing. I missed what you said.
Are you available for a site walk on Saturday at 9 o'clock?
Yes.
Presuming that you're upright.
Yes, I'm on day like 9 of this cold, so I think I should be good by
Okay.
the weekend.
And you'll mask
Hopefully.
up so we don't get it?
Yes, I'll definitely do that.
All right.
I shouldn't make it contagious anymore, but I will.
All right. So in that event, we will continue the public hearing in this matter to October 22nd at 7 p.m. Tom?
It's 7 o'clock's open.
All right, and we will see you on Saturday at 9 a.m.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Mr. Walsh.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Westbrook's nice.
Through the chair, somebody want to make a motion for that?
Yeah, I've been there multiple times.
Can I have a motion to continue the public hearing to October 22nd at 7 p.m.?
Yep, I'll continue. I make a motion to continue the public hearing to October 22nd at 7 p.m.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right, it's a vote. Okay.
And it looks like Ricky just showed up.
Oh, yes, he did. Hi, Ricky. Ricky? Well, I see him up there, so hopefully he can hear us.
Oh, there he is.
Hello, Ricky, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, excellent. So we just concluded the hearing, the 7 o'clock hearing. We're going to continue the matter for 2 weeks, and we're going to have a site walk on Saturday at 9 o'clock if you're available.
Yes, I saw it. I would say aye to everything you guys agreed on.
Now, well, since you didn't hear us, that's probably not good form.
All right.
Appreciate that, though. All right. The next matter on our agenda is 7:05 public hearing. The Auburn Department of Public Works, a notice of intent for relining wastewater pipes along town-owned rights-of-way along the Goddard Drive towards Southwold Road and Sword Street and Elmwood Street to Elmwood Street, Willow Street, and Jerome Avenue. Is there a motion open?
Motion to open hearing.
All right. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 All right. So vote.
Hello, my name is Ryan Nealon. I work with Apex Companies here representing Joanna and the town of Auburn DPW.
Well, good evening.
Was originally hoping that I'd be able to put up a little slide deck, but I can send this on, after the meeting.
Okay.
So a little bit about the project background. Auburn has conducted CCTV inspections of both Goddard and Sword Streets under their 2022 Phase 1 Sanitary Sewer Evaluation Survey.
Okay.
Multiple defects in both pipelines were identified, posing significant risk to the system integrity, root intrusions, gushers, different infiltration areas, which really put the long-term reliability of both of those lines in jeopardy. Multiple breaks have been repaired over the last 2 years, which have required the Auburn DPW to access those areas on an emergency basis to make some repairs. So what we're proposing is to line both of those with cured in place pipe, CIPP pipe, which will reduce future maintenance and really kind of reduce any intrusion into those wetland areas at a way lesser cost than needing to repair the whole pipeline, considering that the pipes range anywhere from 16 to 24 inches in size. All the site access will be conducted on town-owned property, and any planned disturbances for this work will be temporary, and everything will be restored after the work is completed. So, I don't know if everyone can see this, but here's kind of the project map of Goddard Street. There is force main that's not being touched, and then about 3,500 linear foot of pipe that's 18 and 24 inches that needs to be lined in this area. for the gravity main. So with the gravity main lining, you install the CIPP through a manhole and you just kind of jump it manhole to manhole. So there's really no invasive work for that aspect of it, aside from getting manpower and the equipment out to each manhole along that line. There is one manhole that has failed out there, which is in the wetlands area. And then 65 linear foot of 24-inch DI pipe that's also failing that needs to be replaced. So if everyone has their glasses and can squint a little bit, you know, there are two small wetland areas that have armored stream crossings, which are granite block lined crossings that do fall in the wetlands area. Those areas are already pretty protected, so we're gonna work to keep those as protected as possible. And that's really the main idea for Goddard. On Sword Street, we'd be going from the Sword Street pump station, and then phase 1 would be ending on Elwood Street. And phase 2, which would be done at a later time, would be going down Jerome Avenue. So there's two small wetlands areas around Sword Street, one directly next to the pump station where a pipe actually needs to be replaced, and then a smaller section a little bit down the street before it turns towards Southbridge Street that has some wetlands areas that will need to be opened for the access pit for doing this lining. So with this being a force main, you need to actually dig access pits to open up the main, to line it, and then close it back up. In both of these, on Sword Street, there's going to be 5 areas that need to be opened. 2 of them actually fall in the resource areas. The entirety of phase 1 and phase 2 is approximately 5,200 linear foot. But really minimal amount of that is affecting any wetlands areas. So the Goddard Drive impacts, because this is predominantly going to be manhole to manhole, most of the impacts are going to be for the haul roads, or not haul roads, temporary access roads, and any major wet areas would need temporary construction matting. There'd be erosion and sediment control lining the area that we're getting into. And then obviously the replacement of the manhole and the 65 linear foot of DI pipe. As we get out of the site, you know, obviously everything's going to be pulled back up and reseeded with native seed, you know, to make it as original, you know, back to original standards. For the Sword Street area, the impacts are going to include opening some roads and installing the access pits to complete this rehab. There is a replacement of an air release valve in this access area number 1, which is in one of the resource areas. So that's going to be the main area that's going to be disturbed. Going to be erosion and sediment control with filter socks, dewatering bags, frac tanks for settling, and then there's going to be traffic impacts along some of those streets as well, which we have a traffic management plan which was included in the notice of intent package. There's also going to be, where phase 1 meets phase 2, there's going to be a bypass installed. So when this work is going on and the pump station is disrupted, they're going to be able to use trucks to haul the waste to the bypass location rather than needing to take it all the way to another waste treatment facility. Here's a little bit of the protections that are in the package. 12-inch filter socks along with the construction matting, which will, like I said, the construction matting will only be used in areas where it's required, but the filter socks will be used wherever manpower and equipment is being traversed back along the Goddard run. And then it will be restored with a seed mix of current and present plant species that's currently there. Right now, there is access into that site from previous work that has been done. So really, the creation of an access road is kind of just maintaining a road that's already kind of partially there. For Sword Street, like I touched on, the work zone will be protected with filter socks and then the dewatering bags for any dewatering efforts that we need. The Sword Street pipe is 5 to 10 feet deep along Kettlebrook, along those Kettlebrook areas. So we are anticipating encountering some water when we're getting in there. So water would be pumped into a frac tank, would then be pumped through the filter bag, then it would be released onto geotextile fabric and run through another filter sock before it leaves the work site or the work zone. And then final restoration in roadways, everything would go back to, replace in kind. If you have a 4-inch road, you're going to get a 4-inch road back. If you have a 16-inch road, you're going to get a 16-inch road back. And then for the seeded areas that we disturb, those are going to be replaced with the same native species that are currently there as well. So, like the previous gentleman, we're going for a stormwater report waiver on this project because there's no new impervious surfaces being made. For Goddard, really, there's nothing that we're doing that's changing what's currently out there. Once we're done, everything's going to be underground in the existing lines that's already there. And then on Sword Street, going to be a little bit of new pavement, but all of the vegetated areas are going to stay the same size. None of the paving's getting extended, and everything is going to go back to original form after this project is completed. And I can send this deck to anyone if they want it.
If you would, that would be helpful.
Sure.
This sounds like a massive project.
It's a decent sized project. It's a lot shorter in terms of duration doing it with the CIPP lining than it would having to replace all of the pipes, not only in capital cost, but in duration. For the Goddard Street, so let me take a step back. Auburn is currently doing a project with CIPP lining right now through with Apex, and the program, it was nine locations, was supposed to take three days. So they're on day 2. Their truck had a little bit of issues on day 1, but they were able to get nine locations done in 3 days. So it was probably less than a month for Goddard Street, and then Sword Street would probably be a little bit longer because of the access pits and needing to do the bypass work and whatnot. But overall, we're talking a couple months rather than a half a year or anything.
What does the CIPP lining consist of? What's it made of?
It's a polyvinyl lining, so it goes in. It comes in like a kind of like a sock, like a fabric sock that has activated ingredients. The biggest ingredient that people have a concern about is styrene, which has an odor to it. But in the concentrations that it's going in, there's no adverse health effects or anything. But
And this is just conveying wastewater, correct?
this is just conveying wastewater. It's all wastewater.
Okay. And when would you hope to start this?
So it hasn't been put out to bid yet.
Next year?
So, we're currently going to be going in front of a town meeting for funding for this project. So we're hoping to secure funding and then go out to bid subsequent to
So
that.
probably next year. Okay.
Yep.
Interesting. And I'm just curious, for residents in these areas, how much disruption would there be?
On Goddard, there would be no disruption to the residents. Sword Street, I think there might be, some traffic implications, some detours and whatnot. But overall, like I said, it's smaller access pits that traffic management can work around, so no homeowners won't be able to park at their homes. It's not going to be, ideally, not going to be night work. But so the overall effect to homeowners should be minimal.
I don't have any other questions. I open it up to members of the commission.
Nope, I'm good.
No?
Any questions?
Nope,
I do not.
Okay,
I do not.
all right. Any comment from the public? All right, so your request is for us to close the public hearing this evening?
Yes.
Okay. As long as you can send us that slide presentation.
Absolutely. Are all your emails on the? I do have the agenda, but I don't have
Well, Mr.
everyone's.
Fallon has all our emails. So
Okay.
if you send it to him, he can
So
distribute.
have you sent it to
us.
conservation@auburnma.gov?
It's right here. Yeah, just take it.
It's
Oh,
underlined right
Yep,
there.
beautiful.
Of course.
Yep, I can get that over to you tomorrow.
So, having said that, is there a motion to close the public hearing?
Make a motion to close the public hearing on the 705 applicant.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? It's a vote. All right, thank you very much for coming in.
Great. Thank you so much. Good night.
All right, the next item on our agenda is 710 public hearing. Michael Maris of Inside Engineering, a notice of intent for property located at 47 and 49 Rockland Road. Is there a motion to open?
Motion to open the 710 public hearing.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 All right, it's a vote. Mr. Marinus, you're joining us remotely. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you fine. So, did you receive the DEP comments on your filing?
Yes.
Okay. So clearly, there's more work for you to do. Is that fair to say?
I responded to the comments today, but they were just received today. I'm happy to go through them if you'd like
Well, sir,
and go over what's involved.
well, sir, I think DEP wanted you to do various things to the plan that was submitted. And so I think, and we've been down this road before. So, I mean, you can address them, but I think obviously, I think there are changes that are going to be required and read by DEP. I think that's fair to say.
That's correct.
All right. So what is your pleasure, sir?
With regard to what I was going to address the comments over the next couple of days, I reached out already to the reviewer and received an email back that she's out for a week. So I don't know if there's any urgency, but my plan is to update the drawings and prepare a response over the next week or so.
So I did have some questions, if you will humor me. Bear with me for 1 second, please. Okay, so under the plan that is dated, I think it's the most recent plan, which was received by the town on September 24th. You show a plan that shows that the gravel path is going to be paved, and along with paving of the area where I guess parking was involved. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's correct. The planning board required that we pave both the entrance road and the upper parking area.
So what you're doing, it seems to me what's happening here is that the amount of impervious area that's being created is going to be pretty extensive, and I don't see and again, you have an opportunity to address this as well. but I don't see what's being done to mitigate runoff into Kettlebrook, which is, as you know, right adjacent to the road there, or to the driveway. Let's call it the driveway. And I don't know if that's a concern I think that we all have, because we suspect there will be runoff from the paved driveway that will find its way into Kettlebrook, and I don't see that there is any effort necessarily to either mitigate that or treat any runoff on this plan. Do you care to address that?
Yeah, we're proposing a vegetative buffer along both sides of the road.
Okay. Consisting of what? I mean, there's vegetation there now. Would you be improving this vegetated buffer zone?
Yeah, that's correct. We're proposing swale and buffers along both sides of the road, which would be vegetated with arborvitae.
Okay. And you think that that would be sufficient to mitigate any runoff from the driveway?
Well, currently the driveway is gravel, and now we've been required to pave it. So what we're planning on doing is removing an equal volume of material, and then paving, so that we're not increasing the amount of material in the floodplain. In addition to that, on the upper parking area, we're proposing porous pavement to replicate the same runoff coefficient as what's presently there. So if you'd like, we could do the same thing for the lower area, this access road, which would mimic the same runoff coefficient as what's there presently.
So, Tom, has the planning board has a copy of this plan, correct?
Correct.
Has there been any discussion among planning board members of having a consultant review the plan for any impact, either for planning board purposes or for the Conservation Commission?
Well, through the chair, so the first of the month was a Wednesday, so this meeting's being held on the second Wednesday. So the first planning board meeting will be next Tuesday, the 14th.
Okay.
That meeting will be held in person, and Mr. Marinos will be present in person because they do not offer the remote option. And I just want to speak really quickly on behalf of the town of Auburn. Mr. Marinos, the town of Auburn, the town manager, and others that I've been speaking to are very frustrated. This process has been going on since March of 2024, which this month makes 19 months, sir. We still don't have a plan. Obviously, with the comments that were released today, we got them at 11:34 this morning. I received them probably at the same time you did. So I sent out copies to this board, to other boards, to town management, and it's been very frustrating for a lot of people, including the abutters. And I know everybody's trying to go through the process and try to maintain their professionalism. But the 20 copies that you gave me, the stormwater report, sir, didn't have all the amendments in them, so I spent about an hour and a half this morning. And I was told that any of this kind of administrative stuff would be billed to you and added to, when you go through the process. So we just appreciate that you follow the rules like everybody else. And when we ask for hard copies with the revision, that you have the revisions on there, because otherwise it's a joke.
What revision's missing?
Because the copies that you sent were the old copies. They weren't the revised from September 26th.
Are you sure?
I'm absolutely sure. I have 20 copies. I'm going to give some to the abutters here as well, because I have enough copies to give them.
Did you look at the two sheets that were changed?
I did. They weren't changed. The copies that you have weren't changed, sir. So I made copies of the two changed pages that you sent me and the hard copy and put them in this one.
Okay, so I apologize for the printing error.
Yeah, I just think that what happened is probably somebody sent out.
There have been several iterations of changes, and I thought I sent the correct changes to the copier.
What you
There
did
are
not.
two. I apologize. There are two sheets that were changed, so I understand.
Okay. And one other thing through the chair. So this was discussed in our emails going back and forth from the town to Mr. Marinos. So this last 4-page from Ecotech is basically just a wetland flag and memorandum that says in bold letters, this memorandum is not intended to be used as part of a wetland filing. A formal wetland resource evaluation would be provided for that purpose. It's also stated on the back page that this sketch is intended to provide a rough location of wetland delineation flags to facilitate field location. It should not be relied upon for any other purpose. Now, given that this was also done in May 21st of 2024, which was a drought year last year, as we all recall, if this was like a full field evaluation, it would have to be done again because it was a drought year. I'm not sure if Mr. Moranis has hired a wetland consultant. I don't know where that stands because this project has been delayed for so long, but I'd be interested to know on the town's behalf what they plan on doing as far as having a wetland consultant involved, whether it's Ecotech or another company.
I think it's a fair question.
If the board would like, we can go back out and reflag.
Well, I think you do, sir. And in fact, there's even a comment addressed by DEP that talks about the presence of wetland filling between flags B3 and 5. It says any recent wetland filling should be mitigated as part of this notice of intent. And so I think it makes sense to reflag it, given the fact, and to Mr. Fallon's point, that what was submitted by Ecotech was not to be submitted as part of a notice of intent, and it's also a year and a half old. So I think
Okay.
it's a
Happy to update it.
you do that. And my last question, and I'll open it up to members of the public in a moment, is: do you think you can address, have the wetland flagging done and address the comments that were submitted by DEP in time for our October 22nd meeting, or do you want to continue this to our November meeting?
I'll have to reach out to Ecotech and see what their schedule's like.
All right, so you'll let us know if you want to continue this to the 22nd or want to continue this to November?
Sure, I will reach out to Ecotech in the morning and let you know.
All right. Sir, before you leave, sir, are there any comments from the public? And anyone who wants to talk, please state your name and also your address.
Dick Chandler, 35 Rockland Road.
Yes, sir.
Could you, through the chair, ask him why he or someone couldn't physically be here to handle this situation?
I'm not sure I understand your question. You mean be here
Why is he
tonight?
always remote? He looks like he's lackadaisical, doesn't care.
Well, sir, I can't comment to that. But Mr. Marinas, I'm curious, and I think it's a fair question. Where are you currently, sir?
I'm currently in my office in Guilford, Connecticut.
Do you, and to your point, do you think him being here in person makes a difference?
They were scheduled to be here for the last 6 months. They haven't shown up once.
Well, sir, I guess we can debate whether attendance by Zoom is sufficient attendance.
Letting us along.
I understand, sir. I understand your frustration. Thank you. Anyone else?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
I agree with Mr.
name and address.
Oh, sorry, Tim Daly, 25 Rockland Road. I
Okay,
agree with Mr. Chandler. This is a circus. It's a complete joke, and it's not you.
well, thank you.
It's him. Okay, and I don't mean to point, but it's him. He's been stalling. He's been, I can't do it for 2 weeks. I can't do it for a month. I can't do it. If you look at this, they're all just continuances. It's not your fault. I'm not blaming you. But this is a circus. That's a joke. And we have to put up with the traffic, and I know you don't care about that,
Well,
but I need to vent.
I care, sir.
We have put up with this every day, Monday through Fridays, Saturdays, late trucks coming in at 2:30 in the afternoon, coming in at 6:30 in the morning. It's a complete farce. Can I just finish 1 second?
Oh, of course.
My recommendation is that you give him a date. If you can't meet him, then shut him down. And I know you probably can't do that, but it's a good idea. Okay, but it's gone far enough.
So, Mr. Dale, I will say this, and I do appreciate your comments. And Mr. Marinas, I will say this. I've been on the commission now for 30 years, which really means that I am a glutton for punishment. But in my experience on this board, I've never seen a project be extended for this period of time. I think this is a rather straightforward site. I think, I understand that delays can happen, but for this project to have been pending for a year and a half before a DEP number was obtained, I think is it's beyond the pale. I've never seen it before, and I think the residents in the area of 47 and 49 Rockland Road, they need closure, I think, to their point, and I think what is being asked for is not unreasonable, given the site conditions and the circumstances, and I think you need to get this done. I hope that, means something, but that's our feeling, sir.
I understand. What I will say to these comments is that I've gotten continual amount of comments from the planning board, from the town engineer. We've addressed them in immediate fashion every time we get a new comment. I mean, I don't know what else to say other than the boards are continually giving me additional comments. There have been continual additional changes from the town's end since we started this project.
And again, just my observation.
And now, just so you know, you're asking for wetlands flagging to be updated, which is fine. It takes time. So, it's not a delay that's being caused from this end. The town has had the Ecotech report for over a year. So if there was a problem a year ago, we could have been notified a year ago. But I don't have a problem with updating the flagging.
Sir, the Ecotech report was never intended, and in fact, the report states it was never intended to be part of a notice of intent. So that's that point. And again, I think the reason why our board and the planning board is continuing to ask for comments is that the original filings, sir, were deficient. And so I think we're finally getting to the point now where we've got a plan that we can work with. I think the light is at the end of the tunnel. I think we can see it. It's taken too long, and I think we need to get some closure on this. And I'll leave it at that. So, Mr. Marinus, let Mr. Fallon know if you're going to be in a position to make the necessary changes and obtain a revised report from Ecotech in time for our meeting on October 22nd. If not, our next meeting, we meet once a month in November and
17th, I believe, in November.
in December. So the next meeting would be November 17th.
Okay, I'm not aware of Ecotech's schedule, so I can't respond today. I would assume that they're not going to have the information before October 22nd would be my guess, but I will certainly ask and push the request.
All right, and just to be clear, the meeting in November, I think, would be November 19th, Tom.
19th? Okay.
November 19th. All right, Mr. Marinus, we're going to continue the public hearing to either October 22nd or November 19th, and just let Mr. Fallon know what your plans are.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Mr. Daly, one other comment?
Well, I just have a question. If you say that you're on this all the time, through the chair, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
If you say that you're on this all the time and you're so diligent with the plans, then why are we getting things that aren't correct? And it just delays week after week after week. And, I mean, these are these correct?
Not according to the comments.
Not according to the comments.
Through the chair, I'd like to speak to, just on behalf of what Mr. Moran spoke earlier. So, as we know, if you go through the meeting minutes of this board and the planning board, it was discussed pavement was requested by this board several times.
Yes.
It was also requested by planning board. So I'm going to read the comments on the stormwater plan, which also are basically the same as the erosion control plan. The first one is from town comments of 2/13/2025. The second one is town comments from 4/1/2025. The third one is town comments from 5/19/2025. The fourth one is comments from 6/24/2025. The fifth one is town comments from 7/25/2025. And lo and behold, number 6, town comments and pavement on 9/4/2025. And in addition to that, with the stormwater report, as Mr. Miranda said, he did update 2 of the pages. It's just that it was a mistake that the hard copies we received didn't have them, so I spent an hour and a half putting them in here, making the 20 copies complete.
Appreciate that. Okay, any other public comment?
Thank you.
Sir, in the back.
John Campbell, 103 Robin.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to give you guys this.
So, for the next meeting, you're gonna have a brand new plan by the engineer.
We're going to have a revised plan from Mr. Marinus, and it may not be in the 22nd, it may be November 19th.
I got it, but you're gonna have a plan before the meeting, like a week before, so people can get a hold of that plan and review it.
Whenever the plan, I think if you go to the website, when we get plans from applicants, we post them to our website, so they're available that way. If you're saying to me, can you get a copy of the plan by coming here to the town hall before the meeting, I think the answer is you can, because it's a public record.
I know, but my point was, would they be available to the public a week before the meeting?
I can't speak to that, sir.
That's what I want to know from him,
So-
from you through the chair.
And Mr. Marinus, one other comment too. We actually have one of our, and I don't even know what to call it. I don't know if it was a standard.
Five business day rule.
Yeah,
Basically,
we-
planning has it, ZBA, conservation, most boards have it.
We actually have the right not to consider materials that are submitted to us less than 5 days before our meeting. And there's been I think a pretty consistent pattern of us receiving materials a day or two before our meetings, which means we don't necessarily have a chance to review it, and certainly members of the public either. So I would just ask you, sir, that whenever you come back to see us, that you get us the plans in a timely manner, at least 5 business days before the next meeting. Okay?
Absolutely. I've received comments from various boards last minute, and I'm doing my best to address comments as they come in.
I appreciate that. Any other comments?
Thank you, sorry.
Last one.
Our Anthony Paul Street.
Sir.
I appreciate that you're holding their feet to the fire tonight, but the fact of the matter is, they continue to operate. They haven't been told to shut down. They aren't being fined. They are given continuances. They're not being required to refile and repost. So there really is nothing that is really forcing them to move forward, quite frankly. Yes, we're giving them some tough words, but they've been getting away with this now for a long time. So I think that the town, the board, is speaking tough, but you actually got to be a little bit tougher on these people.
Well, sir, I'm pretty cognizant of my jurisdiction and what authority we have. And, there are limits to what we can do. Sir, I think if you know any of our history, we have issued enforcement orders. We have fined parties that don't comply with our orders of condition. This is an ongoing process, and I guess my comment would be, if you feel that more action is warranted, you could speak to someone at the planning board, you could speak to the town manager, you could see if there's any interest in retaining town council to get some sort of injunctive relief. That is beyond our authority.
I have one question, and I think there's a planning board member here.
Mr.
but
Brooks.
Through you.
Sir?
Since they're going to be meeting next week with the planning board, and what they presented tonight is not qualified to be presented before them, does that mean that they're not going to be able to move forward with the planning board next week?
Sir, I have no idea. That's
Like I said,
that's not us.
through the board, there is a planning board member here, and I wonder if he
I don't know if Mr. Brooks can speak for the planning
cared to
board.
venture.
Mr. Brooks, can you
I'd
speak for
have
the
to
planning
defer
board?
that, Mike, to John Reagan. I don't know. All I know is I concur with everything that everyone said. It's continued after continued after continued.
Okay,
If it would have been up to me, I would have shut it right down and stopped it. That's
Understood.
my vote.
all right. Sir, anything else?
Yes. I have a copy of the long-term pollution prevention plan, and it looks great. It looks like it will keep an eye on things. They have to, after they put the stormwater controls in place, they have to be maintained.
Correct.
My question is, who's doing the maintenance? Is this a truck driver, or do they have a professional come in and do the maintenance?
So we would normally address maintenance plans in our in an order of condition if we issue an order of condition in this application for this application. So I can't answer your question because we're not at that point yet, but we routinely have applicants provide us with stormwater reports, also provide us with maintenance schedules. We often ask them to maintain, erosion control measures, other types of controls on a semi-annual or even quarterly basis.
Now, it mentions in the stormwater control plan that
And what plan are you referring to specifically?
it's the operation maintenance manual and long-term pollution prevention plan that they have submitted to you folks, that the developer or the engineer has submitted.
Okay.
And the washing of vehicles, I think you folks went on record as saying you didn't want vehicles washed.
I just gave you the most updated. So what happened was he took that out, struck that out as far as
Right.
washing vehicles.
Right. So my question, of course, is if they're not gonna wash the vehicles on site, and we know that they will have to be washed, who's required to wash them and where they're gonna be washed?
Sir, they can wash them anywhere they care to, as long as they don't wash them in the vicinity of Kettle Brook.
So they don't have to go on record as saying, we're gonna have this professional outfit at this location to have our trucks washed.
We've never requested that, but that is certainly a possible condition we can consider.
Excellent. Apparently, in the plan, used oil is being mentioned. I guess for oiling and machinery or whatever, but they are gonna have used oil on site. My understanding is that the state law requires that used oil has to be monitored, logged and monitored as to what the amounts are and how it's being disposed.
It needs to be removed off-site. Correct.
Is the town gonna be requiring that? Is they're gonna have to log the accumulation and disposal of oil?
I mean, sir, you're asking me to speculate on an order of conditions that we haven't acted on yet.
Okay, so that's for the future.
Sir, that's correct.
Snow disposal and removal.
Right.
Apparently they are gonna store snow on site. So I was curious as to, is that allowed? And can they show us on the tentative plan, at least, where the snow is gonna be stored?
It's on the plan, and one of our standard conditions is that snow be stored away from the wetland area.
Okay. It also says that they plan on not using any salt on the road. And they're gonna be using environmentally friendly alternatives.
Okay?
Are there environmentally friendly alternatives that can be used in place of salt?
I'm not a chemist, sir, but I suspect there are. And we can also include that as part of our order of conditions too. Again, you're asking us to tell you about specific aspects of an order of conditions that we haven't voted on yet, because the meeting is still open. We have not closed the public hearing. Obviously, we are waiting for receipt of additional information, additional details. At some point, I believe, we will close a public hearing. When that's going to be, sir, I have no idea. My hope is that it will be before the end of the year. That depends on them. I think it also depends on them satisfying the requirements imposed by the planning board, and, we're hopeful.
Well, perhaps I'm getting a little bit ahead of the game, but I wanted to.
Go ahead.
This meeting is recorded.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully, people are taking notes.
Yes, sir.
Of the concerns that I presented tonight that you can consider when you issue the order of conditions, because once you close the meeting and you start issuing your order of conditions, I've noticed that the public can no longer give their opinion on what order of conditions that you're going to request.
That's correct.
You folks basically determine it.
Sir.
So I wanted to go on record.
That's fine. We appreciate that. We have never, ever cut off public discussion. We welcome input from the public. But when we have all the information, when all the questions that you have posed to us have hopefully been answered either by our board or by the applicant, we close the public hearing and then we issue an order of conditions. And then there's an appeal period, sir. So.
And my last question is the stormwater controls will be put in place. They have to be maintained. The manual specifies periodic maintenance. Does the town code enforcement have a plan for inspecting to see if the maintenance is being done? And if so, what kind of timetable do you think that it would be? Biannually?
I can't
4 times a year?
I can't answer that question.
Once again, through the chair, there is a code enforcement official here who might have some knowledge on that. And if he would like to answer the question through you, that would be fine.
Well, I think, I don't think Mr. Fallon is involved in code enforcement.
I work in DDIS, but I do know that does not fall into Gary's purview, and through the chair, our town engineer, she might be able to have an answer for that as far as like with DPW. Whose purview would that be under as far as when somebody issues like, a standard report? For example, Casella on Hardscrabble Road, they're pretty consistent on sending us reports on the chemicals coming off the roof where they had to retreat it.
They're very consistent.
But this would be more or less for like operational plans. As
So,
far as,
I think to your point, I think to the extent that inspections to make sure that stormwater structures are being maintained, that's certainly a condition that we could put in our order of conditions for the applicant to.
But we're not sure
comply
who
with.
who would actually monitor those maintenance.
Again, perhaps DPW, I can't answer that question, sir.
We have no answer to that. All right.
Sir, I don't have an answer to that question. I suspect there is an answer from someone. Last question, Mr. Brooks.
Mike, I don't know if you're on board, I have asked several times and the planning board about parking lot drains, that they would have to have some parking lot drains up above. And that they should absolutely have to have oil and water separators up there with all those trucks.
Understood.
That they have there. Is that on the new plan, Tom, or
It
anything
is not,
with that?
it is not, maybe Mr.
Because I've asked.
Loretta's can answer that, but like looking at what I saw here, I saw proposed storm tech chamber system on here. I actually asked the town inspector today, he kind of gave it a quick look, and he didn't see them either.
The applicant?
Well, the plan doesn't show, it shows the creation of impervious area, which is that paved road. It doesn't show, and I think what the applicant has said is that their means of addressing any runoff from the driveway is with these grass swale areas on both sides. I personally, and I'm not speaking for the board, I'm speaking for myself, I don't believe that is sufficient treatment.
Not at all.
I understand that, so that's something that we will also consider. Thank you.
So through the chair, I do see that here, there is one proposed deep sump catch basin right at the corner before the slope goes downward from the main parking area, and also a trench drain going across. Is that correct, Mr. Moranis?
We can't hear you, sir, we can't hear you. Mr. Marinas, you're muted.
I'm sorry. That's correct, and we're proposing an oil separator insert in the deep sump catch basin, if you look at the detail.
All right, thank you. All right, so the hearing is continued either to October 22nd or November 19th. And thank you for participating, Mr. Marinas. Thank you to members of the public, and we will move on to other business.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Through the chair, can we have a motion to continue, please?
Oh, yes, of course. Can I have a motion to continue the public hearing generally?
I'll make a motion to continue the 7:10 public hearing to,
Generally.
generally.
Okay, is there a second?
Yes, second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye?
I,
Okay, it's a vote. All right, thanks again.
Sure.
Appreciate it.
That quick.
I will be at the planning board meeting on Tuesday night, because he will be there in person. He asked me, there's no remote, Mr. Moranis. He'll be at the planning board meeting.
Okay, we're not on public TV anymore.
No, we are.
Oh, we are, but
We're still open.
How can I, get a hold of you?
I'll get a hold of me.
I just email you?
You can speak to Mr. Fallon.
yeah,
Thank you.
I'm off tomorrow and Friday,
That's
it's
fine.
my anniversary, but I'll be back
Happy
Tuesday, Monday,
anniversary.
we'll close. Thanks, man. Just for that reason, exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's called easy maintenance, my
Sorry,
friend.
sorry you're gonna.
No,
That's-
that's all right, it's fine.
Great,
Good to see you.
thanks.
Sir, can I help you?
Yes, I'm here for the National Grid project.
awesome.
Okay. Well, you're next on our list.
Sounds good, let's move.
All right, this is just really for discussion, right?
Yes.
Can you just identify yourself, please?
Yes, I'm Erasmido Cruz. I work with BSC. I'm representing National Grid.
Okay, very good. So tell us what you have in mind.
We submitted a certificate request for certificate of compliance a few weeks ago.
Okay.
Was for a project within the transmission line right of way the National Grid owns. It's on E5F6. We initially permitted for Nile soil borings to occur. 8 have been completed. 1 got deferred to construction, whenever that happens. And yeah, so we submitted the COC because everything has been stabilized. Well, the grading's been done within couple of spots as well.
Through the chair, I'll pass this around. So this was in the packet that went out in August that we looked at. And I remember it was just discussed, and we weren't sure about, it was a little bit of clarity from what I recall.
Yeah.
As far as the location of where they were.
Yeah, so I did.
Oh, this is great, because like we have pictures of the actual towers.
Yeah.
But we didn't have this stuff, so it was kind of tough to figure out exactly where.
So this was taken from the original NOI that we submitted last year in March, I believe.
Okay, sure.
So yeah, all the works within the wetlands completed. The roof vegetated pretty well.
And through the chair, was just soil testing? Is that what
Yes,
they were
just soil
doing?
testing, yeah. Like,
And if, from what I understand, they didn't go through with the last portion, there was gonna be a change, and they just decided not to go through with those test borings. Okay.
yeah, that's it. It was just for the boring B65 right here.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think you just couldn't get through safely, and I thought it would just be easier to do.
Okay.
During the construction.
Sure.
That was essentially it.
And I'm just gonna have you pass these maps
Oh, yeah,
around so that
absolutely.
they can see where the
Yeah.
approximate location is.
Please do.
That one there looks like it'll be a pretty good hike in.
Yeah, that was pretty tough to get to, so it wasn't worth the headache for now.
Right.
Oh, I wasn't here.
But yeah, that's essentially.
Oh, no, we didn't have it.
If you saw the photos as well, everything looks pretty kitted nicely. So
Okay. But I'm thinking something else. Sorry.
Yeah, there's always something.
Yeah.
Looks good to me.
Enough with it.
I'm sorry.
That's okay, yeah.
This is a project started and finished.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Do you have copies of these, or can I put these in the file?
Oh, you can keep them.
Great,
Yeah.
okay.
No worries at all.
Excellent.
So thank you for coming in.
Yeah, of course.
We will act on this evening.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right. Take care.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Nice
Good
to meet
evening.
you.
Likewise.
So I will be away tomorrow, Friday, and Monday we're closed, so I will draft this up, and then I'll send you an email copy, you'll be all set. Okay? Very
Thank you so
good.
much.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Coming.
All right. So since he, in that case, since he was just here, is there a motion regarding the issuance of a certificate of compliance for National Grid?
I make a motion to issue a certificate of compliance to National Grid.
Okay. Is there a second?
I second.
Is there any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Unanimous. It's a vote. Okay. For Mr. Krivosky.
So through the chair, I did speak to Mr. Kowalski. I sent him an email last week, and I guess sometimes his email doesn't get to it right away, but I spoke with him early this week on Monday, and he said that he has talked with that engineer who's going to draft an legislative report. So there was a little bit of a misunderstanding. So the word deviation that they used a couple times in there, basically the plan was built the way it was going to be built. What he was proposing is if the board wanted to, he would bring in, I think it was small Jersey barriers or something to that extent. He wanted to discuss it, but he wanted to check with them first.
Well, but that wasn't on the plan.
It has to do with where I guess it has to do with where the rock, you know, like where the area was where they filled in with rock.
Uh-huh.
So instead of filling that whole area in with rock, they actually just grassed it, put in grass. So they made less of an impervious area. But he recalls that there was discussion about putting in like a small swale going across, which they didn't end up doing because when we went out there on our original visit, we didn't feel like it was sloping down. But he feels it was probably a misunderstanding as far as he wished he was here, because he was here for that Friedel Street hearing and he had left.
Right.
Because he would have been able to explain it.
That was the place where they backed the trucks into.
Right, where they store the spools of wire and stuff like that, yeah.
We went
Yeah.
So what we have is, so the project was not built exactly according to the plan.
Right, there was some deviation, but it wasn't major, it was minor in nature, is what he was basically telling me.
Do we feel that he's given an adequate explanation concerning that deviation?
That would be a question for the board members here, not for me.
I understand. Did he put it in writing? He did put it in writing, didn't he?
Yeah, the company, the engineer, the company did, right, correct. But it said deviation, and mentioned deviation like 2 times.
I mean, I would say that to the extent that there's less impervious area created, then I think it's a benefit. I don't think, just my feeling is that there's no need for them to amend the plan.
Okay.
So I am, based on that representation, I am satisfied that they've complied with the plan, and I think we can issue a certificate of compliance, but that's just me.
Okay.
And I think that the deviation might have been the swale that they were talking about putting in.
Yeah.
And it's pretty flat back there.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'd make a motion to issue a certificate of compliance for, that's 7 St. Mark's.
Okay.
And I would say,
Okay. Is there any discussion? Megan?
Nope.
Ricky?
Nope.
Okay. Very compliant. Very compliant. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, it's a vote. Okay. E-commerce Drive.
So we did receive, and I sent them out, the sinkholes were fixed on Friday the 19th at 2:31 in the afternoon, and he enclosed pictures, which is great, because I went by there at least 3 different times and took pictures, and they weren't fixed.
Okay.
And DPW was aware of it too, and they obviously told them, yeah, you need to fix that. And
Yeah.
even though it might be on Eastland's property on the road, it was on part of their site plan, so they were responsible. So
Okay.
everything looks good.
Oh, yeah.
The big concern was that it was gonna, the road, you know, would wash out onto the road and unstabilize it, have a truck
Right.
go over right into that detention pond or something over time, you know, because it was a big hole.
Okay.
Awesome.
If everyone is satisfied then that the sinkholes have been repaired satisfactorily, is there a motion?
Make a motion to issue a certificate of compliance for 3 Commerce Drive.
Is there a second?
A second.
Is there any discussion?
Nope.
Nope.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, it's a vote. Okay. 16 Perry Place.
So
I wrote a letter.
you wrote a letter and I sent it out, and we, of course, we have not received a response. Now, in all fairness, they are appealing the comprehensive permit with the ZBA on a couple different things. Predominantly, it has to do with control of the road going in, not access to the land itself for the development, but like it's a private road.
Uh-huh.
So it was an issue that went through town council, it went back and forth, and they felt that they didn't have it under their purview to issue it. So that was part of the reason why they are appealing that comprehensive permit to Mass Housing.
Okay. We have no idea how long that's.
No, now, the interesting thing is, as you know, they filed a DEP filing with DEP,
But
with a notice of intent, have not come here, have not provided us anything. I have no access to that. I can't even pull up like a plan that they have,
But
unfortunately.
DEP, has DEP issued a file note?
They did, I believe.
Then I think what we should do is we should contact DEP and ask for a copy. I would imagine they'd give it to us. Although the applicant should provide it to us. Yeah, we got.
Yeah, because there's no, it's not like a public record when you go in there and notice it doesn't have it, but I'm sure they would have it. What I did, who did I speak to? I think I spoke to Brianna, and she just thought it was kind of unusual too that, you know, they would go, of course it is.
Yeah, that's one word for it.
All right, we'll be nice. I was very nice earlier. I'm very grateful that I did.
I appreciate
I tried to be as professional as I could. Believe me,
All right,
it
so
was an effort.
who can we contact at DEP?
I would say it was issued by Judy Schmitz because she issues all the numbers, so I can contact her.
If you could?
Yep.
Just tell her that, you know, we haven't been given a copy of it. We've asked for it and they have not responded, so.
And through the chair, even though she did issue this number today at 11:34, she is on vacation. When I sent her a follow-up email this morning, it got kicked back to me, but she did issue that. So she'll be back on Tuesday, and I will be as well, so.
All right.
I will call her in.
I want to bring up another issue. It's related to 47 and 49 Rockland Road.
Mhm.
And I've never seen a project get delayed like this. And I think the delay has been caused mostly by the applicant. I mean, from the get-go, when they submitted the notice of intent to DPW and not to us, I mean, that just shows a lack of knowledge. But for us to get sort of what they consider to be a more or less definitive plan a year and a half later is beyond the pale. I actually think because what they proposed for the road is inadequate, I actually think we should hire a consultant to take a look at this. Now, if you ask me who that's going to be, I'm not sure. I think we need to have
I did.
another set of eyes.
I did it for information through the chair. I did speak to Adam, Dr. Adam Menard, town planner, and he said we do not have to put that out to bid, that we can basically choose anyone the board would like to use.
Okay.
Now, given that they did use Ecotech and they used that young lady that was,
Yeah, we can't use Ecotech on this.
I was going to suggest, just a suggestion, maybe Glenn Kravosky, just because he's very familiar with that area. He's done a lot of work in town. He does a lot of work for other towns. I could contact him, ask him to give the town a quote, and I think it would be a fairly quick process. I don't think it would take very long. I don't know.
Well, no one else really comes to mind. I think Glenn, he certainly knows his stuff. He's very fond of telling us that.
Yes, he is.
And, so I think, no, I think he certainly has the qualifications to review this. But do we need someone with maybe more of an engineering background? Because what I'm thinking is that, for example, when I saw the revised plan with the paved area, I kind of expected there would be drainage structures within the paver itself.
Sure.
There's nothing.
No, I know that. I understand.
Through the chair, I don't want to speak out of turn as far as, because that meeting's been continued.
Right.
But looking at that plan, there's definitely a few things on there. I mean, what I saw on the plan, I saw where the snow was going to be proposed is right on that slope, where right now it's not even rip-wrapped.
Right.
Where it was discussed when we did our visit on July 26th that they maybe extend that block wall and terminate it into the hill itself. They're proposing to do a swale over there. Now, here's the thing. We had a National Flood Insurance presentation yesterday from DCR. It was fantastic. They're coming up with new plans. They usually come up with them about every 10 or 15 years. One of the interesting things is I did a little research through Gary, and the property at 14 Brook, a house, their median floodplain level is 497 feet, which puts it about 4.5 feet in their kitchen.
That's not good.
So what they had to do is they had to take everything out of their basement power, put it all up. Now you look at the map and it's the same thing. It's like that 497 level. Now in the comment suggestions, DEP wanted to see where these drain structures were going to be and what the elevation was. Now here's the thing. They are not allowed to increase by an inch anything in that floodplain. Is a drainage swale count is an increase in a floodplain? That's a question like I thought of it earlier. I wish I had thought of it when missed, because
I don't know.
they're pretty strict on, like, that's why that road has to basically have, however much material is taken out, it has to conform to whatever's at that road, at that grade.
I mean, I think it's obviously a valid question, and I think someone like Mr. Kravosky can address that. So, all right. I think we need a motion then. I need a motion to, on whether or not to retain a consultant to review this.
I make a motion to retain a consultant to review the 4749 project.
Okay, is there a second?
I second.
Is there any discussion?
Nope.
Megan?
Nope.
Okay. In that case, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Okay, I assume he said aye. Okay, it's a vote. All right. We have received an open meeting law complaint. It is being handled by Mr. Hennigan, and I think I will leave it at that.
Sounds good to me.
And then I know that you had extensive correspondence about the new fire station.
So yes, I did receive a little bit of preliminary information, but they're going to be submitting that and hopefully have everything in on time to come and present at November 12th hearing.
Okay.
They're also going to be simultaneously going through the planning board, because what they'd like to do is get as many approvals and get all that stuff done into the winter, so in the spring they can go out with guns blazing and get the project moving. They're really concerned that I kept sending emails back and forth. It would be awesome to see this project
in the time frame and under budget. Is that possible? Who knows?
That's always a hope, right?
It's always a hope.
Okay. We have meeting minutes. I reviewed them. I hope
Yes.
you did too. The only change I had, and it was I think it was a date issue.
Okay.
Hold on.
This is the,
August.
So, it's the August 27th, 2025 meeting minutes. Oh, and I wanted to compliment, you, Tom, on the way you reorganized this by just putting in bullet points. I think it hits everything that we need.
So through the chair, I'm gonna go on record, it is a combination of using AI, but what's careful is that under Robert's rules, it's important to get the names correct, and it's important to talk about what was decided more than like who decided it. Like a lot of times you can have deliberations that go on, it goes around the room. The important thing is that it's discussed and then whatever is decided, and that's put on the record. That's the most important thing.
it really is.
I think it's.
And it's much easier to read through the chair as well.
They're easier to read.
Yeah.
It's comprehensive, and so I think
Yes, that's great.
I applaud you for that. My only question was, it's on, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4. It'd be on the 5th page where it says plan review status, and it talks about a planning board meeting taking place on October 9th. So I think the date's wrong. That's all. They're meeting next Tuesday, right? So that should
Right,
be-
so what it was at that time, that was when they were gonna come through. So like, that's what was actually given at the time.
Okay.
And obviously,
They don't meet on Thursdays.
no.
So.
Oh, so the date you're saying, all right, so
I'm
yeah,
saying-
because it was gonna be the 7th, right? It was gonna be this, yeah.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying to you is the date. So what should the date be? Should it be the 7th or should it
No,
be the 14th?
actually, you know what? I don't think anyone realized that Wednesday was the 1st, so no matter what was said,
Okay.
it would have been the 14th, which is next Tuesday.
Okay, so,
So it would be October 14th.
okay,
But I do recall, for some reason, we thought that the planning board meeting would be the night before the Concom meeting.
okay, that's no problem. So aside, and I know I'm out of turn here or out of order, but that was the only comment I had about the meeting minutes for August 27th. And so I take a motion, is there a motion to approve the meeting minutes of August 27, 2025 as amended?
Make a motion to approve the meeting minutes of August 27th, 2025.
As amended.
As amended.
Okay, is there a second?
Yes, I second.
All right, any discussion? All those in favor say aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Hold on a second. Okay, so Ricky, you have to abstain because you were not present.
Okay, understood.
Okay, so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstain? Ricky?
Aye.
Okay,
Ricky.
I got it. All right, so let's go back in order. For the meeting minutes of July 23rd of 2025, I reviewed them. I had no changes to make. I don't know if anyone else had any changes.
All right. Make a motion to accept meeting minutes for Wednesday, July 23rd, 2025.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Megan?
Aye, Megan abstains.
All right, it's a vote. And then finally, the meeting minutes of August 13th. Again, I reviewed them. I did not see any need or the need to make any changes.
Make a motion to accept the meeting minutes for Wednesday, August 13th, 2025.
Okay. Is there a second? You can say.
A second.
Okay.
Abstain.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, Ricky seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Megan?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
Aye.
Okay, Rachel abstains. All right, it's a vote.
Cool.
And unless anyone feels very strongly about it, I would defer our decision for the DPW to our meeting on October 22nd. Does anyone care? Members? Ricky?
I'm good with that.
Okay, Ricky, you go.
I'm sorry. I did not hear that last one.
The 7:05 public hearing for the Auburn DPW, we closed it. I'm asking if we can defer our decision until the 22nd, which is within our 21-day period.
I agree.
Okay. All right. If there's no other new business, is there a motion to adjourn?
I make the motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? There never is. All those in favor say aye.
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 All right, it's a vote. All right, everyone, thank you very much.
Bye.